Okay, good morning, everybody. It's first thing on Monday morning. We just had our first informal meeting on Saturday. Thank you for everybody that came. I promised a follow up. First, I apologize for not recording the meeting. Microsoft Teams wouldn't let me do that without paying a fee. I'm gonna wrap this up in 5 minutes, and I could talk about this all day. So I'm gonna move fast, and I'll summarize to the best of my ability. In general, the motor vessel Sacagawea, aka the Robert Gray, was recently awarded a historical status from the federal government. With that comes an opportunity to access grants more easily, potentially. My idea is to start a nonprofit at this point to support not only the Sacagawea to stay afloat and to support its seaworthiness, but also to help out the community and the larger environment in some way. This can mean a lot of things. It can mean different things to different people. I have a lot of really fun, interesting ideas, and I've already heard some great ideas from other people. Everything from sailing clubs to STEM classes for students to a platform for field trips for local high school, middle school, elementary schools. It could go as far as getting underway, doing coastal research, ocean cleanups. There's a million different ideas, and they're all really fun to think about. So what I'm doing here is starting a group of like-minded, interested people who can hash out these ideas to see what's most feasible. At that point, we establish a business name, articles of incorporation, and bylaws, and we apply for nonprofit status. In the meantime, there's other pieces of the puzzle too that can get started already. One is we can start meeting as groups and kind of encourage each other, motivate each other to keep this project going. This could get really big. It could stay really small. There's different ways to do it. I would like to dedicate a certain amount of time each week to this project. However, I get that this group is dispersed around the globe. We have potential members in Italy and Finland. We have some interest coming in from the East Coast of the States. So with that said, I don't want anybody to commit any time at all to this. If you want to be a board member, the requirement is to meet 4 times a year. If you want to do hands-on classes, the requirement is whatever you want to make it for yourself. If you want to just contribute your knowledge, you can do that with or without being a board member at your own speed. But we can develop kind of the limits as a group, and that's what I want to do. I don't want to make any decisions on my own. Am I touching everything? So the meeting on Saturday, we had Brian, one of the current owners of the boat, give us a history of Sacagawea. If you don't know the vessel, it's 125 feet long. It was built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to map the seafloor in the Bering Sea. It's been with the U.S. Navy. It's been with the Army. It's been with the USGS. It's been owned by private salvagers. It can tow vessels. It can break ice. It can sleep 22 people in its 22 beds. It can currently hold up to 12 paying passengers because it is a non-inspected Chapter C passenger vessel. If we take more than 12 paying passengers, we have to get special permission from the Coast Guard, which we could do as a charitable organization. So that goes back to the revenue that we can all expect. Everything at this point you would be volunteering for. There's no money. In the long run, I would anticipate most of our revenue comes from grants. And this has to do with what our mission is in the beginning. We need to be always focused on obtaining grants when we decide what to do. So if we're helping kids, that's great. We can get educational grants. If we're teaching maritime courses, that's great. We can get grants from the Department of Boating Waterways, so on and so forth. We need to be in tune with it as we go. All right, 20 seconds. The boat has the potential to make money too operationally. If we do 4 events a year with a Coast Guard waiver, we could have 50 to 100 people on board. That's a gala, a party that people would pay money for. So think about all of this. I'm going to send out an email with a document of more of my ideas, and I'm going to establish a date for the next meeting. And that meeting, we would discuss more. I want it to be longer than an hour. So free discussion followed by voting on board members, following on voting on a business name. I'm kind of over the Sacagawea Historical Society. I think it should be broader than that and maybe bring back in the name Robert Gray. But think about it. It could be, I mean, who knows? The Robert Gray nonprofit organization. That's a bad example. And we need to discuss more of the process of getting this thing moving. But once we pick a name, once we have at least 3 members who want to be on the board, I would love for 10 members to be on the board. But 3 is a go point for me. 1 is a go point for California law and federal law. But I won't do it with less than 3 on the board. And I would love 10. I went over my 5 minutes. We're at 6 minutes. Good morning, everybody. I hope this clarifies something. If you don't know the boat, go to 1936yacht.com. It's not our website. This is the owner's website. It's not the best website in the world, but you can see pictures of the boat and get a gist of its history. One last thing. There's potential for a nonprofit to acquire the boat in the future with enough money. It's a possibility, and that's something we should talk about when we meet. Okay. Enjoy your week, everybody.